Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a time when the Earth is besieged by a catastrophic flood so immense that it threatens to destroy all life? Imagine standing on the shore of an endless ocean, not of water but of hope and despair mixed. This is no ordinary story. It's a journey that takes us thousands of years back, to a man named Noah and his monumental struggle against a world-spanning flood. Welcome to Myth Researcher, where today we unveil the mystery of Noah's Ark, a tale that not only challenges faith, but also the limits of human understanding. Noah, a man chosen by God to survive the end of the world as we know it, faced not only the daunting task of building an ark, but also the ridicule and mockery of his contemporaries. They mocked his warnings and ignored the signs pointing to an impending disaster. Despite rejection and mockery, Noah remained steadfast in his faith and mission, a true testament to the power of conviction and unwavering belief. His story raises a profound question. How often do we reject knowledge or warnings because they don't align with our understanding or expectations? The tale of Noah's Ark is more than just a religious event found in every faith. It's a mystery echoing through the centuries, a symbol of survival and renewal. But what if I told you there's more to this story? That Noah's Ark was a technological marvel, far from the simple boat you imagine. What if the Ark was part of a larger plan, a vessel carrying not only animals but also advanced knowledge about our world and beyond? Are you intrigued? Then join us on an exciting expedition that could challenge everything you think you know. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Myth Researcher, so you don't miss any of our fascinating discoveries. Are you ready to open yourself to the unknown? Join us on this journey of discovery and uncover what lies behind the story of Noah and his ark. After Noah confronted his people with the question of the seven heavens, do you not see how Allah created the seven heavens in layers? As evidence of God's creation, it's fascinating to see how the prophetic verses of the Quran and the biblical narrative of Noah relate to each other. The idea of seven heavens may seem metaphorical at first, but upon closer reflection we may wonder, did the people of Noah's time actually have the ability to perceive and understand these seven layers of the universe? It's noteworthy that Noah's people denied the existence of the seven heavens, despite Noah citing them as evidence of God's greatness. This attitude leaves room for speculation about the technological and intellectual advancement of society at that time. Considering they not only knew but also denied the existence of these seven layers, could suggest that their knowledge and abilities were more advanced than we might imagine. This thought raises a series of questions. What kind of knowledge and technology did people really have at the time of Noah? Were there advanced tools or methods to explore the nature of the universe? And if so, what happened to this knowledge? By pondering these questions, we open the door to a fascinating look at the past and the potential capabilities of humanity. It also challenges us to rethink our assumptions about history and human progress. Given that the flood was a global event, the question arises, how was Noah able to function as a global prophet and spread his message beyond the known boundaries of that time? How could he ensure that his warning of the impending disaster reached people in the farthest corners of the world? These considerations lead us to the intriguing speculation that Noah must have had access to a form of communication far surpassing our modern concepts. Could it be that ancient civilizations possessed knowledge or technology that allowed them to send messages over long distances, similar to our modern communication methods, but perhaps in a way we don't yet understand? And if so, what could we learn from this lost technology? And how would it change our understanding of history and human capabilities? As the floods engulfed the earth and the waves reached the height of mountains, Noah, separated from his son, stood on the brink of despair. From the Quran, we know that in this hopeless situation, Noah called out to his son, "Come with us, be not with those who curse," as mentioned in Surah Hud 11, verse 42. This scene raises two burning questions. How was Noah able to make his voice heard over the raging chaos of the flood? What kind of technology or method could have allowed him to communicate with his son, physically separated and amidst catastrophic conditions? These questions lead us to consider that the people of Noah's time may have had access to an advanced form of communication far beyond what we can imagine. Could it be that they possessed a type of technology that allowed them to transmit voices over great distances, even under the most extreme conditions? It's clear that Noah's Ark was not just a simple boat, but a technological marvel far beyond the capabilities of the time. The theory that the Ark was round and possibly contained advanced technology fascinates and challenges us to rethink our notions of what was possible in antiquity. The discoveries of Dr. Irving Finkel, who found cuneiform inscriptions of the flood and built a model of the Ark in India, as well as the confirmation of this story through archaeological finds at the British Museum, shed light on the historical reality behind the tale of Noah's Ark. The flood stories found in Sumerian cuneiform tablets from ancient Iraq and their parallels to the biblical narrative underscore the global significance of this story and prompt us to consider what secrets and technologies await discovery by humanity. Imagine how the doors of heaven were opened and water gushed forth in mighty torrents, as described in verse 54 of the Kama Surah. We opened the gates of heaven with water pouring forth. This vivid description gives us a glimpse of how overwhelming and unstoppable the flood was as it swept over the earth. Even on the earth itself the springs gushed forth water, as mentioned in the following verse, and the waters united for the appointed purpose. As the flood engulfed the world, Noah and his companions must have employed remarkable survival strategies to cope with the unimaginable. They not only had to gather food to sustain themselves and the animals on board, but also had to consider the challenge of surviving in a ship that had to withstand the mighty waters. Remember that the waves were as high as mountains, and the Ark had to be more than just a simple boat. It had to be a model of survivability. Interestingly, a 4,000-year-old tablet was discovered containing detailed instructions for building Noah's Ark. This tablet describes the construction of a round ark, quite different from the image we normally have in our heads. The animals were taken on board in pairs, and the tablet provides instructions for building a large round ship capable of withstanding the mighty waters. The discovery of this ancient tablet not only sheds light on the technological abilities of people in antiquity, but also calls into question our notions of Noah's Ark. How could such an advanced ship be built in a time we usually consider primitive? These questions and more will continue to accompany us on our journey as we further explore the secrets of Noah's Ark and try to uncover the truth behind the biblical and Quranic narratives. Stay tuned, as the answers could be as fascinating as they are surprising. As the flood subsided and the Ark finally came to rest, it left behind more than just the memory of a survived catastrophe. In verse 54, verse 15 of the Kama Surah, it is stated, "We have indeed left it as a sign. Is there any who would take heed?" This verse invites us to reflect deeper on the fate of Noah's Ark and the secrets it holds. What if the Ark were to be found one day? What knowledge and technologies could we be confronted with? The idea that Noah's Ark is yet to be discovered arouses curiosity about the kind of technology and wisdom it could contain. Could it provide evidence of advanced communication methods or construction techniques that would revolutionize our current science? The possibility that such a discovery is being kept hidden by an elite raises questions about the preservation and transmission of knowledge through the centuries. These considerations lead to two essential questions. What kind of lost knowledge could be hidden in the Ark that could change our understanding of the past and perhaps our future? And why might it be in the interest of certain groups to keep this discovery and the associated technologies secret from the wider public? The search for Noah's Ark is not just a physical hunt for an ancient relic, but also a metaphorical quest for lost knowledge and untapped potential. The call to draw a lesson from the Ark remains a solemn reminder and a call to explore and understand the mysteries of our past. Scientific evidence supports the idea of a global flood, and archaeological discoveries, especially in Turkey, shed light on the possible existence of the Ark. The Dikla Valley in Mesopotamia, mentioned in the Torah as Ararat and in the Quran as Judi, is considered a possible location for the resting place of the Ark. Satellite studies suggest that the Dikla Valley could be the most suitable location, and the area exhibits features that need further investigation. There are indications that Noah's ship could be located here, and discoveries of ancient wood and fossilized marine life confirm the theory. An Assyrian tablet suggests a circular ark, which challenges our traditional notion of a ship. Based on the blueprint of this tablet, plans have been made to reconstruct the Ark to underscore the symbolism of Noah's story. These discoveries and theories raise many questions and offer new perspectives on the history of Noah's Ark. Let's now look at the moral and spiritual lessons that can be drawn from this fascinating story. In Surah 10, verse 73 of the Yunus Surah, it is emphasized how Noah and his companions, despite the disbelief and rejection of their contemporaries, were saved. These verses remind us that faith and obedience to Allah are crucial, and those who reject His message will ultimately face consequences. The story of Noah's Ark also teaches us the importance of morality, steadfastness, and trust in Allah. Even in difficult times, it reminds us that through faith and obedience, we can act as worthy representatives of God on this earth. The search for the Ark continues to this day and holds great significance for both modern science and faith. It challenges us to rethink our understanding of history, religion, and archaeology, and to open ourselves to new insights. In our investigations, we have repeatedly come across clues pointing to secret societies that have guarded the knowledge of Noah's Ark and its associated technologies for centuries. These groups, often associated with the Anunnaki, are not, as some might suspect, extraterrestrial, but the direct descendants of ancient civilizations such as Atlantis, Sumer, Babylon, and ancient Egypt. They preserve their deep knowledge in secret writings like the Book of Kabbalah, and may use this secret knowledge to steer the fortunes of humanity behind the scenes. This elite, with roots in the most powerful and wisest civilizations of the ancient world, could be crucial in determining how and when the knowledge of Noah's Ark is made accessible to the public. Their motives and how they use this ancient heritage for their purposes raise important questions. What kind of technologies could be hidden in the Ark that these groups have preserved for centuries? And more importantly, what purpose do they serve with this knowledge, and how does it influence their interaction with the rest of humanity? The existence of such societies and their influence on historiography and the preservation of knowledge opens up a fascinating perspective on the search for Noah's Ark. It prompts us to consider how much of what we think we know about our past is actually filtered through the lens of these powerful guardians of knowledge. What could we learn about our history, our capabilities, and our future if this hidden knowledge were to come to light one day? With all these considerations in mind, I bid you farewell. The story of Noah's Ark is full of secrets, lessons, and potential for new discoveries. Stay curious, stay open to knowledge, and stay connected to the fascinating mysteries of our past. Until next time.